Not surprising, really. Probably a good tournament pick, you know, Perilous.
Here we are then, Jake. We're on Perilous and on board, well, at least I'm on board with Ray. I think the winner of this, you know, will be getting themselves in 4th place, at worst. I think that's a great result for either of them.
For sure. I mean, you know, deathr0w, again, you wouldn't, I mean, at least I don't, I might be completely off here, but I don't think of deathr0w as like a prolific duel player. I think of him in the team modes, playing with, you know, placing really well in the team tournaments. But he's really showing up today, and I think Ray is always there. He doesn't play the team modes. He is a duel player through and through. So it should be an interesting matchup because I don't imagine they've played each other too much in practice. So neither player probably doesn't really know what to expect from the other.
You could well be right. This fight, well, looks pretty good to for deathr0w to begin with. The stack advantage definitely there for Ray, but now
great damage.
Slowing down a little bit because the damage, as you say, from deathr0w, absolutely huge with the penciler. And going in, the aggression from deathr0w. This is what we saw in his series earlier today. The man can hit some shots.
The fact that deathr0w was able to just melt Ray's stack. I mean, your stack at the start of the game, you know, because you're just gathering items usually, you know, you get a nice stack at the start, both players do, and he just melted that away with 3 pincers in a row, and he's hitting more. Look at the damage he can hit with this one weapon. That's such an advantage. Wow.
Yeah. And no, it's crazy. I think, you know, it really says something about how skill disparity works in Arena FPS. It's like we saw deathr0w versus Davis. His mechanics looked absolutely incredible. Could take fights that, you know, we wouldn't say he should win. Now he's doing the same to Ray, and these are very established, very high quality players. And yet, how hopeless did deathr0w look versus Ved?
Yeah, no, it's weird to see, isn't it? It's kind of like when you see, I don't know, like a football player like Lionel Messi, for example, just makes other professional football players look like school children, you know? It's the same sort of thing, and it's just a testament to how well some of these guys, the grasp they have on the game, not just their mechanics, but the actual grasp of the theory of the game. And, you know, I think Ray and deathr0w are definitely much more equally matched than, you know, deathr0w and Ved was, but I think deathr0w, honestly, he's showing such good damage output today. I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to make this a really, really tough series for Ray.
Yeah, I mean, he does okay damage here. The stack advantage was so huge for Ray, though. He's going to get himself onto the Mega, and he's starting to cement himself on this map and really take control. Red goes to deathr0w, though. Ray didn't rush into the room there. Very respectful, I think, of what deathr0w can do with the weapons.
Oh, what a shot. Okay, he did get the frag in the end. I was worried he's gonna maybe. I think he was just waiting for the right moment to fire that rocket. But
Ooh.
I think with Ray, he's quite he's quite a momentum based player. He's not someone like Ved who, even if he's down on a few frags, he's not going to just disappear, go silent, really try and work his way back into. He's quite an all guns blazing type guy. So when he's in control, it's a bit of a show. But when he's out of control, I think he does unfortunately let some games kind of get away from him a bit. But so far, he's doing really well against deathr0w here.
Yeah, 4-2, and he's weathered the storm that is deathr0w's damage quite effectively. Mega now surely defended by Ray. Getting the damage done. deathr0w actually keeps more of that stack than I thought he would.
Yeah.
That sort of went exactly how Ray wanted it to. He just didn't hit enough.
Oh no.
And the movement mistake, all that hard work he's done on these items, just gone.
It feels like Ray's a little bit unsure of the cycle of the armors as well, which is unfortunate because he just walked away from the blue as it was spawning. Really unfortunate. And deathr0w is in full control here. He should really, he's hitting great pincher shots already. If he can catch Ray with a stack this low, it's really, really dangerous for Ray, obviously.
Yeah, he's gonna try and hold his own here, but the damage of deathr0w. 4-3 now. And bear in mind, this is Ray's pick. It's quite crucial that you win your pick. deathr0w pushing in with the shaft. Huge damage. Goes for the pincer off the mark. Ray without armor though, and I think without much of a hope of getting on this mega. And you can see deathr0w very proactive. More than the mega, he wants damage. He maybe wants that YA. He's going to get the mega, but gave himself opportunities for more there as well. And that's all you can really do. You can just give yourself opportunities. Whether your hands decide to behave and take them for you, that's another thing.
Yeah, deathr0w really playing just dual concepts perfectly there. Just poking to yellow with the mega kind of already up behind him, and he knows it's there. So even if he takes some damage, you can just back off onto it. But Ray's actually done really well. Kind of faked him out. He went back through the teleporter and then hit a couple of pincers. Really interesting matchup. Really evenly matched.
Yeah. Mega red clash here. Red left up for a little while. deathr0w can get damage on it.
Oh.
Didn't have timing on the item, or he was trying to be a bit too cute, I think, maybe, or just didn't feel safe. I mean, there's a few things it could be, but Ray is going to catch him out there, and well, whatever plan deathr0w had didn't quite come off.
Took a risk for sure. He had an opportunity to get out of there, but he went for a second pincer. He did hit a third as well down low, but Ray just has his stacks just winning him the engagements now.
You can make the game a whole lot easier for yourself rather, with a little bit of stack up close. So deathr0w, it's one of those miraculous fights that he just wins.
Yep. He wasn't predictable there, right? Ray thought he'd just be strafe jumping down the corridor, through the bubbles to get to red, but deathr0w actually held his ground, held a really sort of tight angle just on the corner of that corridor and caught him out with some big damage rockets.
Mega for deathr0w. Red taken by Ray.
Stacks are pretty big for both guys at the moment.
What a
shot, man. Yeah.
This is great as well. Jumping on the shaft though? Risky. One more for the fans, perhaps. That's gonna back away. Playing coy by the blue. deathr0w jumps over the blaster. They're gonna trade mages.
Really playing with fire, both guys there. Now, I remember Ray actually on his stream almost kind of declaring to everyone that he actually struggles. His shaft was kind of one of his... Oh my god. Buy a lottery ticket, Ray. Wow. He was saying how he was struggling with the shaft. Like his rockets and pincer were like sort of by far his best weapons, but his shaft recently has actually been looking really, really strong. So it's nice to see, these guys are playing in tournaments, right? You don't want to give away all of your weaknesses so publicly, but yeah, if you can work on it and improve it, then it's not a weakness anymore, and it doesn't matter. Shaft's looking great.
Yeah. Control as well. 8-4 now on his pick. It's been a little bit tumultuous. It's been a bit hairy here and there, but Ray looking like he will be taking this map. 40 seconds separate him from golden frag should nothing go awry. And here he was. Gets hit by the pincer, missed his own, up close. Now deathr0w with the shotgun brings Ray oh so low. Through the telly he goes, needs one pincer. Can't quite hit it. 2 shotguns instead, what the doctor ordered. And he's on the mega. It basically brings him to a fresh spawn though. We'll be taking YA. Red and potentially blue though for Ray. It means that deathr0w will once again be on the back foot in terms of stack, but that's how he likes it. He does the damage anyway. Stack advantage. Who?
deathr0w is really calm in combat. You see his rockets, he's so patient with them. I have no idea what his mouse settings are, you know, sensitivity, but he looks like he plays on a relatively low-ish sense, I think, and he just hits really calm, controlled rockets there. Really nice to see. He just doesn't look panicked whatsoever in these fights.
He seems to rise to the occasion almost. To just whatever he needs to do in a fight, he'll get it done. Red for deathr0w. YA for Ray. RJ up. And yeah, they've both got the same idea.
Really close game here.
Going quiet. Red is going to be up.
Golden frag.
Yeah, nowhere to be seen. 200
Right.
deathr0w.
Ray's struggling with the timings of the two majors this map so far. The catch though.
Up close, golden frag, though you can see that his opponent has it activated, and oh, they barely missed both of them. And what a different game it would be if they hit. Now up top, commitment from deathr0w on the player that's got the mega, but he hits the pincer. Now the rockets come flying out, and Ray has to evade. Doesn't make a play for the red, can't make a play for the red, and we turn now to YA, or indeed just find each other. deathr0w through the telly. Ray backs off, and well, he has to. There isn't another option.
See deathr0w just guarding that blue. He knows it's Ray's only option right now. Now getting top position because the mega's coming up, but Ray's actually opted to just wait on red. That's what's good on this map. It's safe to wait on red a lot of the time because it's such a defensible area with a lot of escape routes. And look at the angles deathr0w takes with this pincer.
Look at him, indeed. 5 seconds till the red is up. deathr0w very proactive here. I like it. A little bit of initiative, sort of keeping Ray at arm's length. But well, Ray hits and deathr0w doesn't. But now dropping down with the shaft, huge damage. Pincer comes out. deathr0w off the mark once again, but he continues the push. Plus back rockets from Ray. It's a big one though. And now on almost nothing. Each of them deathr0w. Oh. By the hairs on his chinny chin, Jake, he lives.
That was a game-winning pincer that Ray sadly missed. I wonder if that's going to come back to bite him. And look at deathr0w using the giant pillar to maybe trap Ray, but Ray wasn't anywhere near. He didn't fall for that. They've met here before in this corridor. Bang. Great rocket from deathr0w. Oh, he's screaming. He's going to fake him. He's going to double back. Well played, deathr0w.
Very well played. One frag separates him from the gilded one. Red, I think, will be going to Ray. deathr0w on the mega. And now at blue, we fight. Ray can't take this fight. Really, though. Backs away. And deathr0w goes quiet. We'll hear Ray just a little bit there.
There's absolutely no items up. I mean, obviously yellow just taken from Ray, and this is what you'll see a lot of players do, even in like matchmaking, right? Even at my sort of level, you'll see players just if they don't know what's up, they just hide on red. Because it's, like I've said before, engagement here at blue though. Oh, deathr0w's going to do it, you know. Mega's up right now.
Yeah. Oh, RJ as well. I love it. I love it. Beautiful stuff, and now going in direct rocket needs one more.
deathr0w
there. Well. And now we go to deathr0w's pick, and we saw him here earlier. And I think if I remember correctly, Jake, he looked pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. This is a pincer player's paradise on Frontier, and if last match is anything to go by, deathr0w was hitting some amazing pincers, especially at the start of that last game. And I think Ray does enjoy this map as well, but clearly deathr0w goes to this all the time. So if he was able to take Perilous, definitely favoured in this one as well, I think.
Well, yeah, you got to like him in the series right now. Ray was the higher seed, but I mean, that's such a tough game to lose if you're Ray. It was so close. That pincer, that should have been it, right?
Yeah.
And so mentally recovering from that is going to be very hard, whereas deathr0w is just probably on cloud 9 right now.
Look at that smoke, that's interesting. Nice safe way of grabbing the pincer, I like that.
Pushing in with the shot is Ray, but what's happening Tuesday then?
I don't know, we'll talk about it another time. Great frag from Ray. Let's see if he can build momentum. I said at the start, I feel like he is quite a momentum-based player, and that game just got away from him. He was in pole position to take it, and it just kind of slipped away after that missed pincer. But here we go, 2 kills right off the bat. This is great for Ray.
Yeah, doesn't have a huge stack. I don't think he's going to make a claim for the red. He's not. That's going to go to deathr0w. So Ray's not in a great position. While he has had the 2 opening frags, doesn't really have control. Very contested right now, and eating that pincer, well, evens it up. And it was really important that he did when it comes to this mega fight. Just bypasses it, but is there enough time? There is! The rockets are good, and Ray's going to be on that red. I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know if that position's, as defensible as Ray just showed me.
It really depends where your opponent comes from, right? So deathr0w coming from that lower ground, you kind of just advantage on the guy who's on red, but if you're coming from the higher ground, you're definitely not in a good spot if you're waiting on red. So it really was just depending on how deathr0w approached the situation. Unfortunately, just chose the quicker path, but just the slightly weaker one as well, Yep. Or weapon selection key here.
And Ray gets dropped so low, tickled at the end. And this is what deathr0w does. He inches you out in the close fights. I feel like whenever there's a really tough battle, one that could go either way, it always seems to go the way of deathr0w.
He never has the wrong weapon selected, from what I can tell. And yeah, Ray trying to fire rockets from inside the mega pit is really, really tough because of that staircase, obviously right in front of him here. deathr0w actually pushing right in here. There's no item to gain here.
Oh! And as if the caster curse was real, the man who I say comes out in all the crucial close fights does very little in that one.
Yeah, unfortunately he had a clear path to just go and get red, but he chose to fight. Maybe he just didn't hear the health pickup from Ray, but yeah, an unfortunate fight there. And Ray now is 3-1 up. And let's see if he can convert. One of the blues is coming up right now. I think it's the one just behind him. Great rocket as well by Ray, and a pincer shot as well. Yeah, Ray's fighting. He's fighting very, very. He's hitting all the accuracies he needs to. Favouring more of the rockets this game over the shaft.
Yeah, sort of going back to Old Faithful. deathr0w does get himself on that red though, and Ray not left with a whole lot to work with. Pincer though. Rockets now. deathr0w's there. 1 HP, 0 armor. Oh, Ray. Can you do it? He might do it. Oh, the MG, the read from deathr0w. He knew the stack. He's played it beautifully. Hit the direct. 5 damage as well, and now at range, looking for a little bit more damage. And come on!
What are we seeing here?
We're getting blue balled is what we're seeing here, Jake. The commentary's supposed to have a cadence to it. It's supposed to be a crescendo. There's no crescendo when they don't die, Jake.
Not giving it to us.
Kill him! Hey.
Oh my word! Thank God.
There's the life that would never end. Hits that shot every day of the week, of course, because it didn't matter.
Literally. Actually, it did matter, Joel, because he had just collected Mega.
But it didn't kill him, is what I'm saying.
Of course.
The non-lethal pincers are so much easier to hit than the lethal ones.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we talk about it whenever we have Vindy. That's when I hit the 0% into. Oh.
deathr0w's rocket placement. So good. So
he's calm, isn't he?
I can't believe watching this man right now versus Ray, a very good player indeed, someone who took a map off Zurich War earlier today, right? In practice. No, I have not misremembered this tournament. How did deathr0w get like 15-1 twice by Vedmedic? It's actually shocking to me watching this. You feel like he should just have got a couple of frags for being as good as he is. And it's really showing here versus Ray.
I think sometimes, obviously, styles can clash, right? And Ray is quite a combat-heavy player. He's not the guy, like I say, he makes quite a lot of noise. He's just there to collect items and just rocket you in the face. It really is like meat and potatoes style Diabotical, if I'm being honest. And I think deathr0w is just equal, if not better than him in the combat scenarios. He plays a lot of these team modes. deathr0w bloody loves Wipeout. Let me tell you that, Joel. He loves Wipeout.
Oh, he does.
He is a combat master. All right? So I think it's playing it. Ray plays into deathr0w's hands stylistically, I think, just from like an outsider's perspective. I'm happy to be wrong on that, but that's what that's the sort of analysis I'm making, is that Ray loves combat, but deathr0w loves it more.
Well, we have just over 4 minutes left on the clock. deathr0w in the lead here, but not with a great stack. Could get knocked down pretty quickly. They're going to trade blues, and then looking towards the Mega. deathr0w doesn't fancy it. Shoots one rocket and gets clipped by one. The RJ! Here's Ray with the big damage, the initiative, the play of the game for my money. I mean, that was excellent stuff, and you love to see it. It's as simple as
that's exactly what Ray wants to do. He isn't the guy that's going to just vanish off the map and play a defensive trap-based style. He wants to just jump at you and frag you over and over. He wants to win by like 10 to 15 frags. That's how he plays, and yeah, when it works, it looks great. So, well played, Ray.
Well, deathr0w now only with a 1 frag advantage and a serious stack disadvantage. I would prefer to be in Ray's position myself right now. I'll take 200 over a frag
200,
any day.
200, yeah.
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 No, but you know what I mean? Like, I would rather be a frag down with this stack.
Of course, yeah. Especially on Frontier, you can, you can chain them together so quick.
But I mean, it's deathr0w. deathr0w has eaten that stack so quickly. He's going to position himself for a red. I think he should get it as well. He does.
Yeah, this map really seems to have been designed in the vein that red is a viable option to the out of control player. The two blues and the Mega are kind of all on one side, and you have the red all the way on the other. So you will see the out of control player get reds quite frequently, which isn't always bad for the in control player because they have the two blues instead, but it does give deathr0w a fine chance. And here's a big standoff at the other lower blue, and Ray does come out on top with a great shot with the pincer. Ray's rolling, by the way, right now.
He really is, isn't he? He really is. 5-5 now. deathr0w though, with huge health stack rather. Gonna get whittled down a little bit too. Pincers and the rockets don't connect, but here's the shaft, and deathr0w's looking pretty good, I think. Now up close, Ray is gonna make it happen, and his reward, that red armor. Onto the Mega now. I think it should be pretty casual for Ray. It is. Looking for damage after the fact is deathr0w.
Oh man. Yeah, deathr0w does not make it easy just getting across the map at all, does he?
Ray, looking in the driver's seat right now, eating that rocket. 5 seconds for Mega, has to back away up the stairs. Defensive rockets now. Oh no, he's charging in and... Well, deathr0w's not there. He doesn't assert himself. Instead, I think he's playing for the red. He is indeed. But he's going to be 100 stacked down. Playing quietly, hits one good rocket. Ray thinks better of pushing forward. And I think rightly so. Top blue coming up, goes to deathr0w. They're even in stack now. As we look towards the red, where is deathr0w? Oh no. A little movement mistake from Ray. That's going to give away the Mega. Okay, it does go Ray's way with that one pincer, but with that blue, this is deathr0w once again with the superior stack. Ray with his damage keeping himself in this, but... Oh,
looks like he's just going to play for another red.
Yeah, those are the moments, actually. Like, the weird, tiny movement mistakes like that are the things that tilt me more than anything else. Like, it just feels so stupid. It feels so incredibly dumb. But he's done alright. He's back on the Mega.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, right? Just a slight mishap in the movement. And unfortunately in Duel, you can get punished for that because every second can matter. But Ray's done really well. By the way, his pincer has really heated up in the last couple of minutes, I'd say. deathr0w turns around to face him. Oh, deathr0w, please don't escape somehow again.
But he always will, Jay.
He's just hitting him. He's just nailing him through the little wooden floor. Oh, there was the Ray again.
Can't hit the clutch pincer. Welcome to my world.
Oh, deathr0w.
Won't you come on in? This is the ballad of the non-clutch player like myself. deathr0w. Is he going to do it again, Jake? Is he going to survive the one pincer and then we'll take the map?
Well, yeah, you can't say deathr0w's unclutched, not at all. He's extremely clutch so far in this tournament. Is he going to hit the classic pincer on the way out? Oh, unlucky timing there, Ray. Ray just delaying it because he probably anticipated that was happening, but he's got the slow here. Oh, this is perfect for deathr0w, surely.
Oh, the shot.
Doesn't want to walk through.
With the rocket!
What is
up
that
in the sky!
Map 3!
Oh, yes! We see a third map.
Insane, man. Whew. By the way, deathr0w only picked up 6 mega healths to raise, I think, 15 or 16. Did some serious work there, considering.
Okay. Go to Skybreak. And this is a map where people can get absolutely out of hand. This is probably the map that lends itself to stomps most of all in the pool. It is the fastest map. And I think no matter what happens, we're going to see some really, really great frags.
This is a great map for a decider, I think. One of my personal faves. Always good to watch.
Right. Going to be pushing rockets. Both a bit awkward here. And so we're in the air and, you know, they didn't want to go for the air rocket, waiting for each other to hit the ground. It was a bit funny. Ray with a blaster. The connoisseur's choice. You got to admit, Jake, it's a fine weapon.
Yeah, it's the classy gentleman's choice, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's, you know, it's the highest DPS in the game, Jake.
I could hear your grin while you say that.
I love the Buster.
Disgusting.
Also, it tilts people into the stratosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
deathr0w has a big stack, and that's a problem on Skybreak. That's a problem on all maps, of course, but I don't think there's many worse feelings in this game than what Ray has right now. You just know someone is huge and on Skybreak. And it's like, where do I go? There's only about 3 places in this entire map, and none of them are particularly well hidden.
And you certainly don't want to be trapped over at the yellow area. But Ray able to actually get out quite swiftly there, and deathr0w taking the more uncommon route to cut him off.
Big damage, huge damage from Ray. And that brings him pretty much in stack parity. Actually, a little bit better, and he's going to get the Mega. That's huge. And he can back onto YA here if he wants.
I think he's got red on his mind, Joel.
Yeah,
he's got red on the brain. Here he comes. Ray, dominant.
Yeah, really, really strong stuff there, and a clean conversion as well on the spawn.
For me, that's what Skybreak's all about, is getting a frag and trying your hardest to just convert another one right off the spawn. And unfortunately, deathr0w, with a machine gun, somehow comes out on top there.
Well, this is the thing. deathr0w makes every single fight a costly one. Every single fight. Like, you cannot give him an in to do damage. 15 seconds until both majors. The YA's offset. The blue's not for a little while.
Oh my god.
deathr0w just gets chunked.
Was that pure shot from Ray there as well?
I think it was.
That just happened
now,
so
over
quick.
towards the red. deathr0w can't get on it at all. Ray now, he's not just in the driver's seat, Jay. He's in all the seats. The driver's, the passenger, the back passenger. He inhabits the entire car at 200, 200. Or at least he was, you know, when I started saying this ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Skybreak doesn't wait for terrible analogies, unfortunately.
It really doesn't.
Oh, a juicy one there, and he actually just leaves him crippled, so he can just get that mega. I mean, yellow's there as well if he really wants, but he's just guarding that shot. He knows that's likely where deathr0w's going to poke in to try and get some damage or some information, and just easy frags.
It's a mistake not to go to red here, though, right?
I think it's open to interpretation. I mean, it definitely could. The thing is, when you're in the position Ray was just in, he's got the yellow armor there, and he can also get blue. So you know, in theory, you can get up to 175. So the other guy being on 100 isn't too bad, and you can just guard Mega, which is kind of done here.
I don't know. I think, you know, it's sort of interesting though, because Ray, as you're saying, is sort of this more momentum-based player, and that's sort of a player I think should be looking to stomp out the opponent, like take all of their initiative away. And instead, he goes for the more passive play. It's worked out fine enough. I don't know. I was maybe expecting more aggression.
Yeah, I think.
And now,
you know, it's a problem with not a one solution, which is good, right? We don't want that sort of stuff in a game, but I think it might have been a costly mistake because deathr0w is such a prolific pincer player. Maybe he should have pushed towards red and denied the pincer, if more than anything. Because look at the damage deathr0w is able to do with like no HP.
Well, Ray can't drop here. He can't drop until he picks up that 25, and he would survive a pincer with 1 HP. But
oh, that was a clever way of going down there. Though. Down
that was,
the jump
it really
pad.
was. Slow Weevil as well now as he looks to push on and make his case for the Mega. Pincer coming out from deathr0w. It's going to go for a couple of different angles. Right. I think can sort of make the jump whenever he likes. But, ooh, waits for deathr0w. Slow Weevil's there. The shaft looking good as well. Gonna get himself on a blue. Better position for the red as well. It would be suicide, I think, for deathr0w to dive on this. And you can see, yeah, he's looking for damage himself.
Oh, awkward place to meet there. Literally stuck in the very narrow doorway. This yellow area behind the mega spawn is so large that you feel like you're kind of trapped back there, but there's actually, as soon as the attacker commits to one side, you can usually get out the other way, and deathr0w did really well to get out of there alive.
Yeah, he has done well, hasn't he? 4-1. Pretty low scoring Skybreak all in all. Though not without its dramas. I mean, plenty of combat, just both of them playing well enough to get away most of the time. But, well, this could be different as deathr0w. Looks like he wants to commit with the shaft. Ray backs onto the red, though, and the stack advantage. It's what he needed. deathr0w almost took this series 2-0, I'd like to mention. And now is staring down the barrel at a 2-1 in Ray's favor. He needs to do something soon. I'm going to switch over to his POV as he has picked up the Mega. Now holding his own with the shaft on the low ground. Can't quite get over to the red and disengages entirely. Gives up the major. Needs big damage to make that worth it. And I don't think he's going to get a chance to. Oh, maybe he does. The shaft's absolutely devastating, but Ray can weather the storm. And he's on that Mega.
He was able to weather the storm because he was able to grab red in the previous fight. And I understand why deathr0w disengaged there, because as soon as you start motioning towards red, you know Ray's just going to be spamming that with rockets, right? So you can't just charge at the red. He had to play that a little bit more cerebrally, which he did, but Ray just had, he had the stack to just punish him in the next fight.
Ray on the red. deathr0w on the Mega. Big stack for deathr0w here. I don't think on Skybreak you want to be up against Golden Frag though, so I am both expecting and hoping for some aggression before we get into the real pointy end of this match. There is only a minute left.
Yeah, this is the first time that both players have been quite well stacked, and Weebles exchanged as well. And it's going to be some sort of gentleman's agreement where they both go to each side. Although I say that, deathr0w is actually pushing in now, forcing Ray into what I like to call the out of control area. That corridor.
Yeah. Big rock.
Great.
Yeah. Doesn't hit the pincer. He's going to get himself on YA as well. deathr0w still has that huge stack. Hits a rocket as well. Opportunity maybe on the Mega.
Oh, Mega's up. It's a game of chicken here.
Who blinks first? It's looking like it could be deathr0w. Ray now at range with the shotgun brings deathr0w ever so low and only needs to hit one more shot. We need to see some heroics, some miracles, something special from deathr0w. He's going to be restacking up on the other side of the map. He has YA. He's back to 100 HP, but Ray is large and in charge. 115, 175, and he hits the pincer. Out the telly he comes, and deathr0w has no choice but to walk away.
Ray opting for the safe option there, checking if yellow's up. Just wants to grab that and then Mega, or Mega then that, either or, same thing. But he definitely had an option to chase deathr0w through the, through the doors there towards blue, but chose to play it safe instead. And wow, a great shot from deathr0w just out of the shadows there.
Red, a very casual pickup of the red. deathr0w didn't show up. Has gone for a pincer, you may have heard it. We'll hit one now. Ray jumps on the Mega.
Nothing from deathr0w. He's playing the game slowly. He's playing the game methodically. But Ray still with a huge stack, undeterred.
We mentioned obviously
another
how
200, 200.
Yeah, he's hoovering these up, isn't he? I think deathr0w is playing about as good as you can on this map. Out of control, it's so tough. But he is going to the areas where you can be quite safe. But look at the damage that Ray's dealt. Oh, a great end as well. Good game from Ray.
2-1, and very well deserved. I mean, deathr0w pushed him. That wasn't an easy game by any means.